All right, now we have Phil Garcia with us, Councilman. How you doing?
Good, very good. A little cool out there today, but
yeah, it's still supposed to get up into the 60s.
Yeah, that's good.
But I was saying before is that we've got a biking group, and we have one. We usually go on Tuesday evenings, but we have one big bike ride on a Saturday afternoon. It's this Saturday through the grape country around Harpersfield,
Oh,
and it's supposed to be 47 as a high. So
yeah. Not too bad.
no, you have to be a little tough and layer clothing,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the city? One thing is that, and we have a video on it. In fact, they showed it on before we went on the air today. Is that the director of tourism for the state finally got here?
Yes,
and,
yes. That was a very good
oh, we got a call.
call already.
Call already. Okay. Hello, you're on the air.
Are you aware that there's no picture, there's sound, but no picture on Time Warner?
That's what I have found out. Somebody called and said it started about 9 o'clock last night. So, I don't know. That's something they have to work on.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
If you want to call and complain to them, I would think they would know, though.
Well, yeah, you would, but it's Time Warner. Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
Bye. I found calling Time Warner that...
Yeah. Get the 800 numbers.
Yeah, and they're in Canton or someplace,
Yeah.
and they have certain things that they can say.
Yeah.
And but that's...
Yeah.
I guess that's any big company like that.
So.
So the tourism, what was your impression of her?
I thought she was very sincere in what she was doing. I think that she needed to get out into the area because a lot of times they stay in Columbus and they don't realize what they have throughout the state. And I thought it was very well that we had a lot of representation in the city of Conneaut and from Asheville County out at the tourist center. And you know, she looked at it, and it's the tourist center is dated. I think it needs some upgrades to look at it, and you know, this goes for a lot of things for the city of Conneaut and Asheville County. You know, it can go into economic development. You know, your businesses, the people get off the freeway. You have somebody there because we have the Railway Museum. You know, the beaches.
Sure.
You know, the nice restaurants we have. You know,
County Historical Museum.
Yes.
You're going to have another one pretty soon with the D-Day Museum.
Yes. You know, and you know, people are talking about electronics, and you know, a lot of people. You know, you look at that kiosk and you got to go through your computer stuff. Your computer isn't working. You know, one of there's a detour right now. You know, the Route 20 bridge is out.
Right.
And a few other things. But you need somebody there to greet them. You go to Pennsylvania, how nice it looks. You have somebody there for maps.
And New York State too.
Yes.
I mean, you're going boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and you get to Ohio and
it's like we're not welcoming them. You know, you look at the snack shack they have. They don't have it listed as concessions. You know, they don't even have hot coffee. And you know, I thank John Patterson for getting it set up. And you know, we kept on going at it, and you know, we have signage up on Route 90 now, which is a very positive. Thanks
absolutely.
Connie Naylor did a lot of that,
yep.
and the tourist board did a lot of that. And the more people you have coming into your community, you know, it helps out anybody. You know, imagine when D-Day come in, how much extra business, you know, where it's the gas stations, where it's Dairy Mart, where it's any number of the Orlando's, you know, people coming in, you know, the bed and breakfasts they're having in, you know, the Days Inn, and just a lot of things could, you know, it generates money.
So, sure.
And, you know, you welcome people to Ohio, and I've always said, what do you mean? You're welcome, there's nothing there. And, you know, I'm still, you know, trying to get lights up on Route 7 along the freeway, but they said we don't. But they said how much it's going to cost, and but you know, we did put some more lights up by Love Truck Stop to lighten that up a little bit better, you know, there. But you just need the people to welcome to come, you know, the first second, because for a long time there was really nothing there. You know, there was never a gas station there, restaurants, and now at least we have.
The Love certainly has generated some.
Yes, and you look
traffic.
at that; they do a lot of business out that way, because I've been out.
Somebody said that they were doing some expansion there too.
Yeah,
I think it was Mr. Hockaday said something about they were building something out there.
Yeah, so that's another positive thing.
And I didn't get into it with it because I only talked to her for a little bit. But why in the world would you put barricades up to signage on I-90? Why would you charge local groups that aren't going to have a lot of money to put their pamphlets there? Why wouldn't you want to be just as good as Pennsylvania and New York in getting tourism in there. I mean, why put up all these barricades?
Well, that comes from the Columbus and the governor's office. He outsourced it, and when it really outsourced it, it's a company in Kentucky. It's not even a company in Ohio. And you're talking about nonprofit groups that don't have they're depending on people coming into their place to give them some money. They don't have $50 a month or whatever it costs.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
And I don't even know if sometimes, wasn't there a while there where there wasn't even anybody? If you had the $50, you had the pamphlets, there was nobody there to do it.
Oh yeah, I remember last year when we had Joe Packanack come up from Channel 5, that finally got him started because that place was a disaster. And and we're the only rest stop that had tourist center that had somebody man the place.
It's because we were a pain.
Yeah, we were.
And there are other ones in the state that are just as worthy that didn't pressure don't have it.
This governor talks about tourism and this and that. Well, put some money into it. It was who's doing what and where, and she had never been up here, and I think she was very impressed. Not only with Conneaut but Ashtabula, the covered bridges,
sure.
Jefferson. There's a lot of things to see up here, and it helps everybody. And
it was such a nice day.
Oh yes, very nice, and I think all the the Railroad Museum was there, Ron Brundage, Penny Armini was there, Glenda Lowe from the Tourism Board was there, a couple other ones were there. The Historical Society was there.
Lloyd McLaughlin was there.
Yeah, Lori was
from
there.
The D-Day.
D-Day, and a couple people who weren't from Asheville thanked me and John Patterson for at least getting her up here because they've been trying for years to get this, and I had the Maritime Museum come up and. It was a group of about 15, 20 people. So that, the more numbers you have, the better off. If we had 3 or 4 people, she would have said, geez,
no.
But now, wow, this is a good thing. Then, Matt Crawford was there with the video, so that was nice. And Martha Swordham was there. And so that was a good positive thing. And hopefully that, I sent her an email the next day thanking her for coming up and anything we can do to help, revive that and, welcome the people of the state of Ohio.
I mean, we don't have as much industry as we one time. We don't have the nickel plate railroad.
Right.
We don't have the aesthetic is now the
Right.
blend is a
right.
pain rather than the, so I mean help us out a little bit there.
Columbus.
Columbus.
And the thing is, the more people you got coming into town, they may see something. Say, geez, this is a nice place to build. They may see the East Side Industrial Park. One thing Mr. Hockaday has got, we've got a commitment. Well, we have somebody over there right now,
right,
first tenant. So you get one, let's start building from there. So hopefully somebody comes in and sees that. Dominion Gas is putting that new gas line in, which is, I think I've seen all the equipment up on the west end, and it's a good time to do it because you don't have the truck traffic up there because of the overpass, and hopefully the overpass is moving right along. I haven't heard any. I've heard December is the opening. I haven't heard the official thing yet, and. Yeah, it won't be completely done till next year, but that's all the what do you call
side
it?
roads and stuff
like that.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping. But so far, I go to Asheville every day, and the detour. I'm just as a matter of fact, to get on Amboy Road, to Creek Road, and go your speed limit. And I think that
people are getting used to. I had this summer. I had the 3 city managers from Ashtabula County on, and Jim Timier. He was here on time, the city manager of Ashtabula, but he comes in and he says. He was the last. He said, "I forgot about that bridge at Amboy."
And they don't know the local detour, and it's been very, and we're lucky the roads were, in Conneaut good. You go Gore roads like take.
North Kingsville.
Yeah, minefield there.
I told somebody that I close my eyes when I'm driving on that road, and you can tell when you go into North Kingsville.
Yeah.
I don't really close my eyes.
Yeah. But we talk about the roads, and you look at our road repair system this year. We have the road levy passed, and it's one thing that. That I look at, and our city manager, we had 19 roads that were repaired, maybe 20 when we get Cricket Avenue done. Mm-hmm. And that new chip and seal, double chip and seal, and that looks beautiful. A lot of the side streets.
Is that what they did on Dorman Road?
Yes, in Rouse Street, I think Tyler, they did everything on the west end. Was it Bloor Street, King Street, Leith Walk, Townsend, and we get more bang for a dollar, and it's it's a lot of streets to cover in one time. And
they do something and then it's not quite right, and then they go back. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's a kind of a 3-step progress.
Right.
And when they when they first did it, I did receive some phone calls like, boy, this doesn't look, I said, why not I call Mr. Hockaday? And he said, no, they got one more thing to go, because I guess they have to do it in things. Well, the first thing they did, patch the roads a little bit. You saw
Right.
the blacktop.
Yeah.
Get the base set, and then they put the kind of stone, and then they came back and kind of sucked it up, and then put the, it looked like a blacktop street.
Yes,
and
it
they say that it's supposed to last, quite a few years, so that should be a good thing. So if you figure we got 19 streets done this year, and hopefully be another 19 streets next year. And another thing, with the street levy money, with the southern roads this year, we did purchase a machine and have a permanent brine to put on there. We had a little problem at the beginning of the summer. There was some dust control, but now we can do our own, and we put this one time down, and it'll last the whole summer. Where before we were buying, or not buying, getting free brine, but the only problem with that was when we needed it, you have to give them a couple of days notice. So it's getting dry, so we call them on Monday. Well, we can't get till Thursday. Well, that's 3 or 4 days with the dust out there, and then they finally come, which was, they did as fast as they could. But now this time, and it worked very well. I went out there over the weekend, and they did a nice job, for the Covered Bridge Festival. I went down Creek Road and Middle Road. The roads were very, nice and stuff like that. So that's, that, and then we're starting our ditching program. I think they've got some of the stuff done in the city on the northern side. Now the southern side, they're supposed to have a crew of 3 going out and start getting that ditching done on the southern road. So the road levy is done both for the southern roads and the paved roads. So we're working on both that and trying. The dust control was much better this year. It wasn't perfect at times, but I think next year we'll get right on top of it, and probably in May put that coating down, and that should last the whole summer. And then they did that years ago. It cost some money, but that's part of the road levy. So that's a good positive thing for both everybody living in the city that do that.
I think we need to. In fact, I think we need to get 2 breaks in before 5 o'clock.
Okay.
So we'll be back with Phil. Phil Garcia's here. We have to go to another break in a few minutes because I haven't been up and watching the commercials as well as I should have. But we were talking about the tourist center, and I've mentioned this before, but I know somebody that used to work out there, and people would come in and they'd think that there was no lake between. If you want to go to Lake Erie, you have to be in Cleveland.
Oh,
You have to be at Presque Isle.
Yeah.
That one guy needed his car fixed, and he has a Chevy. And how long before I get to Cleveland? Because he didn't think there was anything.
Right. Yeah.
So there's people that can tell you that where's the local grocery stores, where's the auto dealerships.
And you got the wineries, and
Oh yeah.
I mean, you a lot of things you can do, and like I said, somebody come in and they may see something about a D-Day. Now there's nothing out there for the local people. I guess the tourist center has some little maps out there, but but what I say is put just a rack for Asheville County, for all the museums and the attractions, and we have the 4th of July festival, we have the Rib Fest, and all these other things that people may want to come back and do in the D-Day. So.
And it's not just Conneaut, but you've got Jenny Munger, and you've got Geneva on the Lake Strip, and you've got the Marine Museum, which they're going to have a big expansion of.
Yeah,
and,
you got the
Bridge Street.
Bridge Street, the Walleye Festival. Down the Southern County, you got the antique show that goes on. You got all kind of things that go on. Maybe all these little street fairs that go on in Orwell. People may want to go to that. They got the Ossenberg Days. You got a lot of little things that people may be interested in going to see that. So that's.
And Andover. Andover's pretty.
Yeah. They have the Andover Square, and they got the lakes down there. So there's a lot of things. You get up around 7, you got a lot of things to do either way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're telling people this is go right on or go north on Route 7, if you go south on Route 7.
Yeah.
And I bike down through across the lake there on the road there in Andover, and that is a lot of fun. You look over and see all of those places to park. I was doing it when I was riding across there. I was thinking, any place else they'd be charging you like $20 to park there.
Yeah, sure. A lot of good things.
Yeah, so it's and why they put roadblocks up, and I asked Connie Naylor when I was talking to her why they would do that. Or at this point they won't let you put this kind of sign up, but they'll let you put that kind of sign up, or only when you're coming eastbound, leaving Ohio, can you put this certain sign up. But if you're coming, you're going westbound from Pennsylvania and Ohio, you can't do it.
There's a lot of hoops to jump through.
like I say, give us some help. And
Yeah.
there are other places that just as worthy should be having,
Yeah.
and they're not like around Youngstown or whatever, coming
Yeah.
into Pennsylvania.
Right.
They're not.
Getting their fair share of the business.
So I don't know. Maybe at one of the presidential debates, they should
Yeah.
ask, why aren't you doing something about the tourist center in
Yeah.
Conneaut?
Kasich would have some answer for that. Everything's privatized, so
Yeah, like the prison.
yes, it's all privatized. But they're doing a nice job over there.
There have been some rough edges, but they seem to be.
Yeah, it's a real that's good asset. I was at their last meeting. They have a community meeting, and I was there. And just what they're doing over there. Is it going to be perfect all the time? No, but they've done an excellent job over there. You just think the wages, the people they employed, the water they use, the sewer they use, and everything else that they've used, and they've been a very good neighbor for the city of Conneaut. And like I said, when they had transition, they had some rough edges. Like anytime you have transitions, there's always some rough edges. But they've got things straightened around, and what they've done over there, and what they've done for the community, and it's just outstanding what they've done. So.
Yep. All right, let's take another quick break, and we're going to talk about maybe some other things.
Okay.
All right. Phil Garcia is with us, and we'll be back. So, you were talking about the lighting there at Gateway and Route 7, and I know that, and it would make it look like there's something there rather than...
We do have some lighting there right off the exit, and then with the help of Councilman Arcaro, we had more lighting put to the south of 90 there for Loves, because that was awful dark there, and it has improved the area a lot. We were going to get some more, but the lemonade company, with the price they gave us at the beginning to what they gave us now, it's totally different. So that's probably gone by the wayside. Not by the wayside. We'll probably go back, and we don't have the money to budget this year. But we are planning on putting some more street lights on the Madison area by the Spark Complex.
Oh, that'll be good.
There, and we also I've got the work order to put another street light at the corner of Kephas and Daniels Avenue and Kephas and South Ridge. So what I've been trying to do.
So I'm going to have lights about 2 miles from my house one way and a half a mile from my house the other way.
And because that's one thing I wanted to work on is at least put some lighting on the southern roads at the intersections. We do have a lighting at the Middle Road and Under Ridge, which was put up last year, and in South Ridge and Middle Road. So there's street lights there. I put 2 last year, put another 2 this year, maybe get another 2 next year, and find another couple intersections, because it gets awful dark out there, and with the street lighting assessment, they deserve, try to, we can't put them at every corner, every pole, but at least commit at the major. And when I looked at it, South Ridge is probably one of the busiest roads they travel out there, in Middle Road out there, and that made it nice, and then Under Ridge and Middle was good too. So.
Okay, let's go to the phone. Hello, you're on the air.
Do you know that you have no picture?
On Time Warner, yes, we know. That's something that Time Warner, I guess it happened around 9 o'clock last night it went out. So hopefully they will fix that.
Thank you.
But it's good radio. Yes. There's not too much I can do about that.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll cover those intersections a little bit better, and especially in the wintertime when it's dark out there, and prevent I don't think there's many accidents out there, but just prevent that. And hopefully next year we'll look at a couple other different intersections out there. I'll go out and kind of look, maybe. Parrish and Horton near that little to get that, and try to find the intersections that that need that lighting. They all need lighting, but we're trying to a little bit at a time. That we're moving forward. We're having some leaf pickup this year, so that's a good thing.
Before we get to that, though, I wanted to talk about I-90 and all.
Yeah.
We got Loves there, and that's supposed to spark some development. And then we've got the New Leaf complex, right?
Yeah.
So you think that's going to get, I don't know, some businesses and some
business, and maybe get some lighting out there, because that's one thing the state looks at apparently, that how much traffic you get on and off the freeway. So that it can't hurt. It can only help. You got the Days Inn, you got the Burger King. So there's more things coming out there. So maybe more traffic. And I just say, even if you didn't have those things out there, you're welcome to the first exit in Ohio, brighten it up.
Right.
Brighten up the tourist center, brighten up the first exit in Ohio, because the first 3 exits in Ohio, they're all dark. You go to Kingsville, that's dark.
Right.
Now, apparently, this is what John Patterson told me. I think they're supposed to put lighting at the Route 11 90 interchange.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's so much traffic here, and I don't know. But you look at 45, that's lit up like a Christmas tree.
Right, and Geneva is.
Geneva, and you go into Lake County. So, we're moving in the right way. We're getting some things done. Another thing I'd like to talk about is the police levy coming up. Very important that nobody likes levies, and if you see on our past what we've done with levies, a lot of this, why we have to put these levies on, because the governor and Columbus have cut over $800,000 out of our budget. Now, if we had $800,000 in the budget, we wouldn't have to have these levies, because we would have enough money.
So yeah, what he's talking about, I balanced the state budget without raising taxes.
Yeah, he did it on the back of the people, and people don't
You force
understand.
other people to raise the taxes.
Right, yeah. So you raise taxes, and this will put, talking to Mr. Hockaday, we'll put more police officers on the road, because we could have some correction officers in the jail part, and that would relieve it. And dispatchers, they wouldn't have to be dispatchers, because there'd be enough dispatchers and things like that. So
who make less money than the
police officers. And then right now we have anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 on the road, but this would probably put an average of 5 police officers on the road. So that would give the response time better. They do a nice job, but they're running from call to call. Better follow-ups. Better speed control. Do a lot of the little things that they could help the city, because there are some drug problems, and this would probably curb it. And, and they're just running from things that. And if you look at what we've done with our levies, you take the fire levy, we getting a new fire truck. We have 2 nice ambulances for Station 1. They went out and bought a used one, which not many miles on it, like for $34,000, and they're like $75,000, $80,000 in great condition. So rather than using one ambulance all the time, one week to use this ambulance, another, so the wear and tear on them, so that we're getting more money for what we're bang for a buck. So they're using your money wisely when we do these. You look at the street levy, what we've done with the street levy this year. I mean, watching our money, we're taking care of what we have to take care of, and same with the police levy. We're watching our dollars. I was just reading something about the overtime, and I think that would cut a lot of overtime in the police department, because with all the things that have gone on.
I mean, this is exactly what happened in Ashtabula too.
Yeah, right. You get that, and like I said, you have a bad winter, a lot of overtime. They did add another part-time firefighter, so that should cut back.
Right.
From what I understand, it was the first year that a lot of the overtime was incurred because of the bad weather and stuff like that, and they had an injury, and sometimes that things happen. You don't want to see anybody hurt or sick or something like that, but that does happen. So that does kind of puts crimps on that. And then with the police department, if you have an accident, you have
investigations
and things happen, that you have to you kind of schedule for that. Sometimes,
murder that takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and a lot of things. Like you said, and look at the. And you have to spend money to make money, and sometimes with the the D-Day, that takes a lot of energy, a lot of cost into that too. But we have to have, because that generates money for the city.
Absolutely.
So I can't fault that. And the 4th of July festival, same thing there. Not the festival, but so much the fireworks. That brings 4,000 or 5,000 people into the city. So you have to have the police and fire protection. It takes some money to do it, and you can't fault anybody like that, because to make money, you got to spend money. And I think they're spending it wisely. Maybe maybe there's some places we can cut here or there, but I think for the most part that I'm sure that there's reasons why, and the control of the overtime and stuff like that. But we don't most definitely need a police levy to put more police officers on the road, and we bought new cruisers. They have a good rotation of that. And they do a very fine job with the manpower they have, because they're just running from call to call. And this would relieve them from going call to call, maybe investigate a little bit more traffic control that we need.
The arrests are down, wasn't that one of the things about it?
Yeah, because it's just, you just don't have, you can't be out running radar, because you get a call, you got to go. So that kind of eliminate that. They do as much as they can. So hopefully that this will, do that. And we try to save money anywhere we can. Just you look at the street lining, the lines. They went to the county, said to a private contractor, save $4,000 or $5,000. Another thing that Mr. Hockley has done is auction a lot of the surplus vehicles we have and equipment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put on Ohio Gov, and it's a bidding process they have. It's on, you see one of those used police cruisers, minimum bid, wherever it's $300, I don't know what they are, and people bid on it, and then you get the most out of that, and you got a certain percentage that goes back to the auctioneer, but it's online. And I think we just recouped $4,500 or something like that. So I mean, at least getting something out of your money and can go kind of put back into what you have. And you're talking about, now bringing back it's a LEAF program, bringing that back a little bit, and trying to get that done. We're working on crack sealing and stuff like that. So, and just any number of things that the money we're getting from these levies, we're using the good use. You're showing that we're spending the money that, the streets are being improved. I mean, that's the number one thing. People come into town, they don't want to be driving up, looking for a house or a business, and you see your streets are all, cut up and whatever you're going to have. The town's getting cleaned up. There's always certain pockets that aren't as good as others, but people take pride in what they have, and I think that's the name of things. And we as council is working on making sure these are we're supporting the city manager, the law director, and stuff like that. And, and we don't want to take people to court or take them to jail for things. If we can help them, there's always people who can help them. Whether it's a neighbor can help them paint, or go to the Conneaut Human Resource Center. And I'm sure they can find someplace for the LEAF program. Was it the LEAF program?
Oh yeah, that's the other right.
They
have that in June and July.
They've done a lot of things that.
They sure have.
I mean, there's a lot of people who can help you, and there's always an avenue where you can find some help, and you can and you look at the senior center and the kind of human resource center. There's not too many communities that have a nice building like that, and what they've done for the seniors, and what people need help. You got the health department in there, and the Salvation Army.
It used to be like all over town.
Yeah, right. And
using the old outbuilding at City Hall, I remember, like in the 70s or 80s.
So you got everything in a one-stop shop there. You can walk in there. It's easy to get to. And you talk about our schools. They're involved in nice new schools. Their averages are up, and it's just a lot of positive things in Conneaut. And that's what I look at. That you want to keep on improving what we have.
Right. And you were talking about this police levy. Kyle Smith was talking about, city law director, last week, because you have police officers that are like, I don't know, folding laundry or something, or not. I don't know about doing that, but
well, probably being in the jail, being in the correction office. Yeah, you have to be.
Somebody has to do it.
Yeah,
and you can't take a dispatcher off, and somebody's having a heart attack. Well, hold on a minute, I'm taking the towels out of the laundry or something.
So and you hire a couple more police officers, and also that police officer who's working in the jail can now be on the road, and the corrections officers can do things around there if there's nobody in the jail. I don't know how all that works, but that just frees up, and then you can hire an extra dispatcher. So when somebody calls off sick, you don't have a police officer there. And I think the more police officers is this prevention. I'm not going, we want to get speeders, this and that, and give everybody tickets. No, that's not the key to. We want to prevent people from speeding, running stop signs, doing all kinds of things like that. And they can patrol the break-ins we have, and people know that you have a few more officers on the streets. It's less crime you could have, and hopefully that they prevent that.
But also more time if there's a suspected drug house.
Right.
Maybe that might be, it may not, but right now I've got 9 other things I have to do. So.
Right, and there's a report, and they have to go do the reports, and you have to go on to the next job, and it's taxing on the police officers. That's a very tough job, and I commend them. All the city workers, the public works department, for how many people they have, but they seem like we're dividing them up, and like I said, they have two workers on leaf pickup, and there's 3 on ditching.
Right.
you know, because the southern roads, they've been neglected, you know, ditching for a long
Tell me
time.
about it.
Yeah, you live out there. What do you live on, Kephas or
South Ridge?
Yeah, so, you know, that's.
There's
you
a
know,
lot of advantages there,
Yeah.
and I appreciate when the street department. I'm
Yeah.
not saying they ignore it because
Yeah,
they're out there
yeah.
all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But
But they can do, you have more time and dedicate to that. And I was out the other day, the roads seemed, like I said, dust control this year was pretty good, right? You know, I mean, they put that stuff on there. Like I said, you know, get that ditching program, like the next May when we have that machine, just boom, put it out there. And, you know, we don't have to worry about, you know, and we have to call somebody to put well, by the time we get to them, now it rains, I
Right.
can't do it again, and then it's still dusty. And like I said, we had a rough start at the beginning of the summer, but then once that dust control came down, and then we didn't get enough of it, and there was some delay in that, and then we found somebody to put some brine on there for a while, and then I think we finally got them all done. So, you know, like I said, you know, that's part of the street levy, you know, the gravel we put out there, and if we, you know, get good ditching program, get the crowns built back up, and build the roads back to where they should. It's not going to be done overnight. It's going to be a period of time, but if we get a start on it, you know, every little bit counts to get that start, like I said. And, you know, we got some more street lighting out there, and you know, that's what we'll work at.
Mr. Hockaday seems to have a lot of expertise when it comes to things like
Yes.
roads
Right,
and,
right, yes,
and
yeah.
what to put on certain roads.
Right, he does.
And he will tell you about it.
Yes, he will. And, you know, you look at the Center Street Bridge, you know, and I'm not criticizing anybody in the past, but, you know, that bridge may have been closed for a while, but he jumped right in on that, got a $150,000 grant. Should be open by November 15th, because that's a main artery for people to come back and forth.
Yes.
And, you know, boom, he was right down there when they started on it. He's a hands-on, you know, administrative one on that. You know, I give credit for that. And then the bids came in, I think, at 225.
Yeah,
less than the 300,000. So that's another plus. So that's going to be open up. You know, so that's, you know, because I'm sure it was kind of a difficult this summer for the CLYO, but, you know, you work through it.
Right.
But you know,
in another time, that could have sat there for a couple of years before
Yeah.
somebody did something.
right, because they wouldn't know what the grant, and you know, they got a grant. You know, the fire department got a grant for the cots. You know, where they lift up on that. Water department got a grant. So everything seems to be, you know, he seems to have good hands on what's going on, and you know, we have a council meeting tonight. It doesn't look like there's much on the council agenda, but probably a good thing and a bad thing. But you know, it's, you know, it's always nice that, you know, we're moving city forward, and you know, I just don't like making ordinances to make ordinances.
Sure.
You know, let's enforce what we have and move forward what we have.
Well, Kyle on the show, he wanted to say something at the end, and he said that we've got a good council.
Yeah.
You've got an effective city manager
Yeah.
now.
Yes.
And I mean, this is a guy that was here in 1995 and 1985,
Yeah, right.
and he can see the difference, and he
Right.
thinks it's
Yes, and we've got a good workforce that you know, moving the city forward. They do a nice job in all departments. That you know, we're still looking for a public works director.
Right.
You know, Jim's still going through them all. You know, rather than, you know, that things happen, but you know, Brian Bidwell stepped up to the plate. You know, you have to be happy when you a gentleman like that. And it's like when John Williams steps up to the plate.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, that gentleman there has done a lot for the city. And, you know, you need a question answered, call John Williams.
That's
If
right.
he doesn't have it today, he'll have it for you by tomorrow morning. And you know, anything that's going on. And same with Mr. Hockaday. When I have a question or an issue, he'll call me, and you know, we'll take care of it. And just like with the roads, you know, when somebody called about the said, boy, that doesn't look very good. I asked
That's
him,
my initial thought was too.
Yeah, and he called me, no, Phil. He said, give it another week. You got to let it pack down. They come with the machine, pick it all up, and they cover it. He said it'd be just like a black top road, and boom,
Yes.
it was just like
That's
that.
right,
And
that's
everybody who lives in that neighborhood, boy, thank you for that. Because like I said, we did 20 roads, 19 plus we do Cricket Avenue. And you know, next year, hopefully that, you know, CT consultants go through that. Another thing they did real nice when we came in, he did the Chestnut Street Water Project.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that came right in and made sure that was done before D-Day. So there's a lot of positive things happening, and hopefully that we get together, and you know, and he's always, you know, he's got a lot of expertise. He's got a lot of connections. You know, we got John Patterson in our corner, so that helps.
Yeah.
That helps a lot bit. And like I said, you know, we're doing, you know, the levies that we have put on, you know, are a result of Columbus, you know, governor who has cut, $800,000 to $1 million out of our budget. And if we had that, we don't have to put all these levies on. But when we put the levies on, we're using money to good use.
Right.
I mean, that's what I look at. It we're stretching our dollar, and save as much as we can. I mean, we're not spending it, on frivolous things. We're watching the dollars. When they went to buy the fire truck, Chief Lee went to 3-4 different companies. I think the company they bought off is in Pennsylvania, so it's close. That truck we have now is, and all the trucks, fire trucks are, you look back and, I guess you probably shouldn't buy 3 of the new trucks all at the same time because they all go out at the same time. So, but then, you kind of learning that, and I'm not criticizing them, but that happens. So hopefully that, this goes, and then maybe down the road we get another truck, or I think we're looking at a used truck. I think Asheville Township will let us use that truck for that time, and like I said, the fire department does a nice job with the ambulance service. Like I said, we got two nice ambulances. They're not running, every week. They got 2 of them, so one week.
The fact you got the fire department going to all these emergencies too.
Yeah, right.
I mean, that's for the safety of people.
Right.
I can remember in the 70s when the fire department kind of just hung out,
Yeah, and like I said, and then you got the volunteers from Station 3, which supplements the regulars, which is needed, so which is very good. So
I know you got to get going. Can you address a little bit of talk about the CTI building, and there's talk about maybe doing a joint school public works structure there? Yeah,
it's a kind of preliminary phase right now. We had a meeting with the school board. It was back in January, I think. Not January, September. And we're just talking because they need a new bus garage. We need a new public works department.
Right.
And we're going to take that phone call.
Yes, maybe it's about the big blackout here. Hello, you're on the air. I don't know.
Where's your picture on that TV?
I don't know. Talk to Time Warner. Let us know what they say. Okay, that's enough of that. Time Warner problem.
Yeah. But we're talking about it, and maybe looking at some grants because it's a big building. It could be a positive for both departments because what they're talking about, finding when these trucks come back, you can't spray them off, and because all the salt, and same with the buses.
Yeah.
No place to do all that, and you could have a
nice. There's a big area there.
Big area, you could park the bus there. Big area. We would fence it in so it'll look nice because it's kind of residential.
But you also got the underpass both places, so you have to worry about trains. Or...
Yeah, right. So that. It's a thing in the works, and I'm sure Mr. Hockaday is working on it. I'm sure Mr. Notar is working on it. It would be a positive for both this, and that's one thing nice about the city and schools are working together. I know for a while that it was like 2 opposite things, but way things are, if you can work together and save the taxpayers money, that's what you look at. This would save the taxpayers a lot of money rather than 2 buildings. You have one under one roof. You got you could put your buses inside. I don't know how big the place is big. You could put our public works trucks in there rather than sitting out in the winter all the time. You have a place you can bring in, wash them off underneath the carriage. That's where your trucks will rust out and your buses rust out. So if your buses last 10 years because all the rust, you get 2 more years out of that. Or your truck, rather than getting 10 years, you may get 12 years. So you get 2 extra years out of it. So
and they're always out there.
Yeah, you're spending maybe some money up front, but in 10 years down the road, look at the money you're saving because you can bring those trucks inside, wash them off just like ODOT. I mean, all those trucks last a long time because when they're done salting, they bring them inside, clean them all off, clean all the salt off them, and that salt just kills them. The same with the buses. So you're looking, those buses are what, $80,000 for a bus. A truck is $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 for a truck.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of money. You're sitting outside. It's no fault of the schools or ours, but that's a lot of money that could do that. And that building's old. The public works department, you get nice.
And they're out in the middle of nowhere now because there's no school there anymore.
So that would be. So that's something in the works. We're working on it. There's nothing definite on it yet, but
somebody called a while ago, and Mr. Hockaday was supposed to be on, and he still hasn't been on yet. We have to talk to him. But there was talk about some kind of toxic materials or something that may have been left by the plants there? Or
No, I don't think so. I think that
maybe they talked about it and it turned out to be not true.
Not true. They're not.
Okay.
There's not. There's nothing that I know that for that. There's been samples and taken that. I don't think there is, as far as I know, because they've taken some stuff down there and a couple of different things, and I don't think there has been, because that would be thing. But we should be taking ownership pretty soon. And like I said, it was so, and hopefully that building is repairable, and it's a big building.
Right.
And like I said, you put a lot of buses, a lot of trucks in there and stuff like that. Like I said, at least if you have to even keep them outside, at least bring them inside, clean them off.
And then take them back out.
Yeah, because it's kind of hard to go outside and in the middle of winter trying to spring out. It just freeze out there, and then you have problems. But you imagine bringing the bus back at night, going in there and spraying them off, and getting all that salt underneath there, bring that salt truck back in or whatever you got in, spray them all off, and your pickup trucks, all the trucks in your department, so you could do that. So it's a good positive thing.
Excellent idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, Phil.
Alrighty.
We may not have been able to see you everywhere, but
That's what it is.
yeah.
I look good on radio.
That's right. Phil Garcia, Councilman, was here, and we'll be back.